Hi, my name is Elena Festi, and I am a graduate student at the University of Northern Colorado and an elementary special education teacher. And I'm here to talk to you about how I handle student behaviors using sensory input. So the first thing that you're going to need to do if you're going to address behavior using sensory techniques is make sure that your classroom has all the sensory materials that it's going to need. So here's a list of some of the sensory materials that I have in my classroom that I use with students when they are exhibiting behaviors that require some type of sensory input. We have lotion available where students have lotion rubbed on their arms and their hands, asking them to relax those muscles and get that tension out. We have a gym mat where students lay down and we put half the gym mat on top of them, kind of like a taco, and then we roll a peanut ball back and forth over their back to kind of give them that deep pressure. We have fidgets available for students. We have bean bags available for students. We have foot bands that go on the bottom of their chairs. We offer gum to students that need that oral sensation. We also have buckets that have flax seeds or sand or some type of bean in it, in which we put smaller objects and hide them in those materials, where students have to put their hands in the seeds to go ahead and get them out. Not only is that a fine motor skill that they're working on, but it's also giving them sensory input. We have light covers that go over the lights just to try and dim it if it's too bright. I have hair gel that I put in plastic baggies for them to just feel with their hands. We have glitter bottles, which we actually make, and it's just a water bottle with water, glue, and some glitter. And what'll happen is you shake it up and the glitter's all around, and then the students can watch the glitter fall down to the bottom. We offer seat cushions for students that just need to fidget in their chairs. It kind of helps them stay seated. We have medical tubing for students that need oral sensation but can't chew gum. Students also usually come to the classroom with chewies that they bring from home that also can give them that oral stimulation. We offer headphones for children that are in assemblies or in music class and it's just too loud. I also have a variety of different chairs that the students can sit in. I have a chair that has an exercise ball as the base where they can bounce. I have rocking chairs. I have small classroom chairs. I have larger classroom chairs. We also use weighted blankets where students either sit down and they can have a weighted vest on them, trying to give them that deep pressure. We have a blanket that goes across their lap that gives them that deep pressure. We also use a sensory swing sometimes, where students sit in the swing and it kind of envelops them and we swing them back and forth, giving them that motion. So those are just some of the sensory items that we have and that we use on a regular basis in our classroom that I would definitely recommend that you get some of these materials if you are going to try to address classroom behaviors using sensory tactics. So the next step is knowing when you need to use sensory to address a student's behavior. And this varies greatly depending on the student that you're working with. And it can be done either doing an FBA, discussions with your educational team, doing classroom observations, having conversations with parents, or just getting to know the student throughout the year and learning what is sensory and what is pure behavior, and making sure that you're addressing the needs of that student in order to correct the behavior. Here is a list of websites that I would recommend you look into when you are working with a child that's exhibiting behaviors in your classroom. A lot of these websites are just a great starting point for you when you're looking for strategies or ideas, charts or forms to fill out. You want some research articles or some programs or practices that have worked in the past. It's just a great place to start when you're looking for ideas on how to address a student's behavior. So a lot of time teachers come to me after their student has already exhibited behavior that's sensory related. So I really think it's important to kind of discuss how we can prevent these behaviors from occurring in the first place, and what are some activities that we can do in our classroom in order to help the student regulate their sensory. So here's some sensory activities that I have utilized in my classroom to help students with regulation of their sensory needs. Twice a week, we do an obstacle course, which just involves hula hoops, trampolines, scooters, throwing bean bags, bouncing a ball. And it's a really fun activity that the kids enjoy, as well as helping them with their sensory needs. I also use a mouse hunt where students and I would go on a mouse hunt through the hallways in which we see a light socket, we have to jump over it. We see a window, we have to duck under it. And it's getting that motion of going up and down, and it's really good for them. We also have brain breaks. I like utilizing gonoodle.com. It's one of the best websites I've found in terms of getting brain breaks for the kids, and they really enjoy the activities on the website. We also have a quiet corner that I allow students to go and visit, and sometimes I recommend that they take a break there just to help them calm down before we have a conversation. Paper delivery is really good as well. When students cannot stay still and they need that heavy movement break, we go ahead and have them deliver paper to the other classrooms where they're just carrying bundles of paper. Manipulatives, they're still learning, they're still using the manipulatives. It gives them something to do with their hands. They really enjoy doing it. And we have an animal movement group, which is kind of like yoga with animal poses, and it's getting them to become familiar with their body and relax their muscles and getting to know their body, and it's a fun activity for them to do. These are just some of the recommendations that I would recommend that you try if you're working for sensory purposes. So we have reviewed what classroom materials you might need, some activities that are sensory related, and I've given you a list of websites that I would recommend you look into. I hope that this video has helped you and given you some ideas on how to work with students that are exhibiting behavior that's related to sensory needs.